Hello folks, welcome to a very gloomy UK en route to Denham Airfield in the DA42 in MSFS using the Pimax Crystal. God, that was a mouthful. Today we're going to talk about the Quest 3 and the Pimax Light. Which one is right for you for flight simulation, depending on your budget, your circumstances and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm going to get straight into this. So first of all, it's fair to say we've needed a replacement to the incredible Riva G2, because I think it's a great headset and has been for many years now, for the mid-range PCVR segment. And even I resigned to the fact that maybe the Quest 3 is the only sort of option out there, because the DP E4 VR headset, well, it's rubbish. Don't bother going that route at all. If you want to see a review, I've got a link in the description below. But, you know, things have changed big time, because the Pimax Light has just appeared on the scene for around, well, with VAT, it's about £670 or so, roughly. Might be wrong, but it's around the 650, 670 mark in the UK for the non-local dimming version. And that is the one I'll probably compare to with the Quest 3, first of all, since the Quest 3 doesn't have local dimming. So let's start with the visuals. The Quest 3 doesn't have a native PCVR connection. I harp on about this all the time, and I'm going to upset some Quest 3 owners out there. You know, sorry about that, guys. You know, I do love the Quest 3, and you'll continue to see it on the channel because I really do love that headset, especially for VFR flying, which we're not really doing today. However, there's no doubt about it that even using F4090, the image does suffer. At the end of the day, you know, your computer has to encode lots of noughts and ones and then convert them to make them look like this, you know, a beautiful image. That's a lot of hard work for any GPU. And unless you've got a 4070 Ti with dual encoders, you're going to struggle with that. And it's false economy in a way. If you're going to get a really good GPU, it's going to be held back by the fact that it can't really stretch its legs with a direct DisplayPort connection. Okay? So because of that, as I say, the Quest 3, it does look softer on the image, even when upscaled. You can see compression and artifacts. It's very minimal actually on link, but still you can see it, okay? And not to mention the fact that the Quest 3 has a much lower resolution, and the canted displays of the Quest 3 means you can see screen door effect. You can, folks. I'm sorry, but you can. Especially when you're someone like me who's used to seeing lots of different headsets, you know, and experiencing both the low, mid and high end, I can spot screen door effect. It's not a massive deal breaker at all, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's really in your face, but it is there. Not to mention as well, I feel that the Quest 3 suffers from Miura, that is pixel inconsistencies during the manufacturing process. Some pixels will be lighter than others, and it creates a fogging of the display. I think the Crystal, well, it can suffer from it, depending on how lucky you are with the screen you get, because the quality control for Pimax isn't as great as it should be, admittedly. But the headset I've got is actually very good, and there's a few out there that I have tested. They all overall seem better with Miura than the Quest 3. So it's a massive hammer blow. For visuals, it's an obvious win for the Pimax Light. Let's now talk about comfort. Well, actually, the Pimax Light wins that one when you compare it to a standard Quest 3. This is a shocker, but the Quest 3 is the most uncomfortable headset I've ever worn out of the box. And you have to get a battery head strap, you know, for comfort and for longevity for the battery, as well as a facial interface. I would recommend the AMVR facial interface and the Orbica head strap. So that means the price goes up. So you're looking at very similar prices now between the Quest 3 and the Pimax Light. And if you're, you know, a simmer, a flight simmer, again, you might as well go for the Pimax Light. It makes more sense. Now, I just want to say that overall, the Quest 3 is a phenomenal headset, especially if you're starting out. I think the software is better, the overall user experience is better, it's so flexible, you can do so many things with it. So if you're a VR user that likes to do different things other than pure flight simming, for example, if 1 minute you're playing Beat Saber, then you want to play Walkabout Mini Golf, which I do a lot, Then you want to do a bit of flight simming, but you're not too serious about it, and you just want to have an overall really good VR headset. I do feel the Quest 3 still wins on just the overall package, absolutely. But having said that, I'm still not going to recommend it, guys. Not for flight simulation. It just doesn't make any sense. For all of you out there that watch this channel, and you're probably most likely really into flight simulation, MSFS 2024 is around the corner. Just the visuals of the Pimax Light are absolutely phenomenal, and people are saying it's really expensive. Guys, you're going to get a QLED panel, which I haven't even mentioned yet, with the spheric lenses, 35 ppd, for well under £1,000, and you don't even need base stations. That is fantastic value for money, providing it's decent. And of course, if you'd like to pre-order, I do have an affiliate link, and I will be posting my final review of the Pimax Light soon, well before orders will be shipped, so you've got a chance to cancel it in case it is a disaster. But I really don't think it is. I have a good feeling about this headset, and I never say that usually, guys. But I know how good the Pimax Standard Edition Crystal is. Just the few kinks and the issues are all related to the battery in the XR2 chipset. That's now been completely taken away. And it's going to be way lighter as well. So, unless they really mess up, I cannot imagine the Pimax Light being anything but a success, quite honestly. I really do. I'm really excited about it, guys, really am. Now let's talk about the optics. This is where things get a little bit, different, because the Quest 3 starts fighting back. Even though the Crystal has a spheric lenses, which means no God rays, no glare, and a really nice sweet spot, really good. The fact of the matter is, the pancake lenses in the Quest 3 are better. They really are. They're the best in the business. They're better than even the Somnium VR1, believe it or not. I don't know what Meta did with those lenses, but they're just superb. The sweet spot is just so wide in that thing. Really, really good, and it shocks me every time I use it. However, it's not enough of a difference, in my opinion, to go for the Quest 3 versus the Pimax Crystal. I really don't think that, because at the end of the day, you're still hampering your performance, and you're not getting anywhere near the visual quality. Talking of colours, again, obviously the Pimax Crystal wins with its QLED panel. Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful panel. It really is. Very close to OLED in most situations, apart from black levels. Talking of black levels, as the sky is really getting dark here, the Quest 3, well, the black levels in that aren't that great, but you can use virtual desktop to improve them. The Pimax Crystal, if you go for the local dimming version, is very good with black levels. However, you do get a little bit of blooming, although that has been improved. Overall, again, that's a bit of a win for the Crystal. If you go for the version without the local dimming, the Crystal black levels are still, they're okay. They're still better than the Quest, in my opinion. But, obviously, in my personal view, I would recommend definitely going for the local dimming version, because it does make a big difference. So, in terms of build quality, well, yeah, the Quest 3 wins on that one. But having said that, even though the build quality on the Crystal isn't amazing, it's not terrible either. And I've had no issues with the overall build quality of the device. It gets used a lot, guys, and it still looks brand new. So as long as you look after it, don't drop it for goodness sake. I don't think it would survive a drop like it would the Quest 3. Just look after it, you'll be absolutely fine with that. Now, in terms of field of view, they're actually very similar. I would say maybe the Quest 3 is slightly better, but not by a massive amount, and that is very subjective. It depends on your face shape and all that kind of thing. Pimax, they say the Crystal has 125 degrees field of view. It doesn't. It measures at around 102, 104 degrees both sides. That's still very good. That is very good. Don't worry about the wide field of view lenses. I personally don't like them. I think the standard 35 ppd lenses are fantastic, and they're more than adequate, especially for the price. If you want really good wide field of view, with amazing visuals, you know, then I would recommend the Somnium VR1. That's the closest thing we have right now. So in terms of eye tracking, that is the big elephant in the room, isn't it? I know many people are really pissed at Pimax for not including that, but you have to understand, guys, you can't have everything for a cheap price. We're getting a very high-end headset here for around £700, or, you know, a bit more, obviously, if it's the local dimming version, but it's still under £1,000, which is really, really good value for money. You can't expect everything, and eye tracking is very expensive. Also, unless you are a DCS pilot, you're not really going to have much of a difference anyway with eye tracking. For me, in MSFS using the OpenXR toolkit, which isn't really being supported anymore anyway, I'm getting around probably 3 to 4 frames per second more over normal fixed favorated rendering. Now, I don't know if Asobo is going to surprise all of us and include eye-tracked favorated rendering in MSFS 2024. That would be amazing. I don't know the future, guys, but I'm guessing that's not going to happen, but you never know. If that is the case, then yeah, that will be a big deal for VR. But I just don't know what their plans are for that. Either way, though, you can scale the crystal down. You know, in the OpenXR toolkit or in the Pimax Play, use it at 75% resolution. You don't have to use native resolution, and with a 4070 at 3500 by whatever it was, I can't remember, let me check. Okay, here we go, 3500 by 4142. I've tried that with a 4070 and I get respectable results with my VR settings, and I will be posting an updated VR settings guide for the Pimax Light soon as well. What else? Audio. Well, I would recommend spending a little bit more money and getting the DMAS speakers. They are fantastic, very similar to the Valve Index and Reaver G2. They're off the ear, so they don't feel claustrophobic, they don't make you hot and sweaty, and they sound really good. A very, very good option. So audio is much better than the Quest 3. So in a nutshell, the Pimax Crystal Light is a no-brainer. I think it beats the Quest 3 for flight simulation hands down. Even if you think about performance without eye tracking, if you scale it back quite aggressively, you're still going to get a better image than you would in the Quest 3 with a higher resolution. You just are, because of that native DisplayPort connection and the beautiful colours as well. And for all the other things, like comfort, I think the Pimax Light is actually going to be a really comfortable headset. Don't, you know, get too bogged down with the size of it. It's going to be really light, and it's going to look like a brick, but it's not going to feel like one. Even this version with the battery is actually quite comfortable, especially with the top strap. So I think that's not going to be so much of an issue as people are thinking. So in conclusion, for flight simulation, I think the Pimax Crystal Light makes the most sense. Even if you downscale it to that of the Quest 3, say if you've got a 4070, you will still get a better image, and you won't need to worry about a battery. You'll have just a much more high quality experience, especially if you consider that it's not a lot more money to get a lot more of a better experience. Look at that, very nice rainbows just appeared there, that's cool. And just another warning that I've noticed through my affiliate link that it's gone berserk. It really has. Like, I can't believe how many people have ordered through my affiliate link, and that gives me an indication that it's likely that the Crystal Light might be out of stock, especially for the first batch, very soon. So I would recommend that you don't mess around and just pre-order it. Hopefully by the time the money goes out your bank, I'll have already posted my final review of it as well. Anyway folks, that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again very soon. Look at this rainbow appearing. That's what I love about this sim. It's just incredible, isn't it? And to think it's only going to get better with MSFS 2024. Oh, wow. Very exciting times, guys. Look at this. I think we're going to go right through the middle of this thing here. Oh, that is. And now it's just disappearing again. Very cool. What a great way to end this video. Take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.